The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Could you just say like 5, 4, 3? How you doing? I'm Louis Dix.
I'm Jeff Arnold.
And you see we're back another week. The car is still working. Hello, everyone out there. What's the name of the show?
It's In a Man's World.
In a Man's World. Tighten up your belts and all that other stuff.
Well,
now
you can't say that line.
He don't have that line.
Yeah, that's his line. You can't say
he's
that.
gone.
No, he's not.
He's still in spirit. Can't say he's gone now because comics are dropping like flies. Don't put his name up there.
Can I put it?
No, he ain't earned that. Ain't nobody begging him. He stay in his little hole.
Nah.
Yeah, he ain't that. He funny, but he ain't. Okay, enough of that. Hey, we got a great show. It's
Allegedly.
Yeah, 8 days left until Christmas.
Are you ready for it?
I didn't get a tree, but I picked up Peyton last night. She flew in.
How's baby girl doing?
She's good. She cut her hair again.
Wow.
Short black hair. She looks cute.
Is she bald now?
No, she's not bald. She ain't Jada Pinkett it. She's got hair.
Waves now.
And I just love hugging her. So we picked her up. She got in at 11:50. Airport is crazy.
As it should be this time of year.
Yeah, but remember how you and I had the thing where we would, if you arrived, we would go up to arrivals.
Right.
I mean, up to the party. It's faster.
Right.
Instead of dealing with that. I tried to do that with her, but she was all confused. Kids, if I had sent her a text, she probably would have got it. But just verbally telling kids to do things,
yeah, they don't understand.
They can't. They don't understand that she didn't grow up in the slick world of going up and doing this.
But you got to find a new method, though. I found a new method.
What?
We're taking my wife to the airport.
Oh, that's right, because she's
she's flight attendant. So what we do is go to the Hilton or to the Hyatt.
And then what?
She shuttles.
Oh, well, I used to do that when if I didn't have my car, I would park and then go to the rental car place and drive.
And she hates that.
Well, I mean, they get to hate anything, but
drop me off here.
We're excited. She's in town, and it's funny because I had the conversation with her. I was like, hey, so how's Laurel? Our partner. She says she's fine, and because she's gonna be here for like 3 weeks, almost a month, and I'm like, you guys okay? She's like, what do you mean? I was like, you guys not gonna see each other for a month. Well, we busy. That's the new millennial thing. Yeah, that's the thing that they can.
Not like you, jealous and all of that. Where you at? What you doing?
I'm not jealous anymore. I used to be jealous. That was a bad habit. And look at where it's got me. But at least I found somebody that we're not jealous at all. I had a little moment the other day because she came home really late.
Wow.
And I knew she was working. But
was you blowing up her phone?
No, I don't do that anymore. But I was working too. I was. Huh? So I was working too, and so it was like after 1 because I was putting the show together. So it takes me a long time to type and print and all that stuff. So she was like, I'm on my way home, but she always says that, but she never leaves. So I'm leaving the office now. Okay. And I'm not worried about it because she got a Glock. So I'm like, hey, okay, you'll beat me there because you're right downtown and I'm way in the valley. So, of course, I get there and she's not there. So I get a little like, hey, if you tell me you're going to do something, do it.
You start pacing?
No, what I did was I went in the crib, and then I knew she hadn't eaten.
Sucking your lips?
No, I got a little upset, but then I was like, okay, I knew she hadn't eaten, so I said, I caught myself. I was like, let me make her something to eat. So I made her some tacos. Oh, wow. And so when she came in, the food was ready.
Off?
No, she was thankful.
Was
no, that's what I was supposed to do, as opposed to the normal thing of trying to
question her where she been and just.
No, I knew where she was. Just the fact of that whole thing about. I don't know what it is. We men, everybody's got some things that they just have to get better at in relationships, and I'm getting better. When you care for someone, love them, you're better at it. You get better at not pushing certain buttons and checking yourself. I think that's the most important thing about. Do you notice that you've done that since you're in love more now? Do you check yourself? You check your attitudes?
Yeah, I mean, but my wife is like 15 years younger than me. So I have to, go with that.
Which is, does it normally, so the sex is different.
I mean,
because you're
for
old.
her it is.
You're old.
No, I can go. I can go.
You and that
Baby,
that
call
16
in
ounce of
because-
waters.
Yeah, call in. Let them know how I break your back.
Oh Lord.
You know,
That's,
so
you can-
yes,
that's such
I
a
can do-
man thing.
Yes,
Women are stronger in the bedroom than men. That's the bottom line.
depends on what day and
No,
what
women
position.
can always outlast a man. They come on, they got it. They let's just keep that real.
All right,
It's not
that's
too
in
many.
your bedroom. My bedroom. No.
All right, okay. Okay, whatever.
Can I chime in here?
Oh Lord.
Of
Yes.
course.
Go ahead.
Most men that brag about
Oh, here we go.
their prowess in the bedroom,
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, they garbage.
See.
I'm not saying I
I
never
got
slept
references.
with you.
I got references.
Are they willing to call in?
I hope so.
Now that tell you right then and there if you got to have references. You should know. I don't know. I don't think that's just like me asking.
That's the first time I said that. I keep all that personal. It was just mocking and just being the fun. I mean, it is what it is. I'm 60, so it is.
Well, at least
what
you
it
should
is.
know what you're doing.
Do
Yes.
you use the blue pill?
No, never.
Never.
Come
I have.
Wow. You should have kept that to yourself.
Hey, letting you know. If you see me drinking that 16 ounce of water, then you know what's coming.
Yeah, no.
But no.
Old school. Shot of Tanqueray. You
So
good.
shout out to everyone. Christmas. And for those of you who won't be able to see someone you love because they're no longer here in the flesh, peace to your heart. It's a tough time for a lot of people.
Not necessarily. Some people might be grateful.
That's true, but a lot of people, it's their first Christmas without the ones that they love, and that's a tough one. I've heard, I've been pretty lucky to where, I haven't lost a lot of people in my life, but I hear that's a tough one when you, like your mom or your dad or your sister or somebody.
Well, my dad, it'd be 4 years, so.
4 years. And how are you still? What's the most day that gets to you?
Every day, because I talk to him every day. So every day, when I go through something, that voice is not there.
Do you get sad or do you get what?
Sometimes I guess,
Does he motivate you sometimes?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
To keep me going. Yeah.
Well, that's good. You have a photo of him?
Right here on my phone. I look at.
So when you hit your phone up, his picture comes up? Oh, that's cool. In his little white suit. Do you know what day that was?
Yes.
What?
It's his birthday.
Oh, which birthday?
Turned 80.
Ah, wasn't last year, I guess.
That's how I see it,
I'm just
Be
kidding.
grateful that yours is that you can
Yeah,
wake up
I am. And he's 80. He'll be 81.
There you go.
Never thought. Your dad died at what age?
He died at 80. He died at 82.
Okay. Yeah. So, shout out to my dad. I love him. I'm glad he hit me up this morning. Are you doing the show? And I said, yes.
How's his posture?
Good. He plays
good.
golf every day, almost every day. He plays
walk in
chess.
the-
His brain is active.
Is he walking the course? Is he in the golf course?
Well,
golf
no,
course?
he got knee issues.
Okay, so
But
he's
he don't
driving. He
do
loves
steps.
driving anyway, so.
Yeah, he doesn't do steps that well, but he's okay. My favorite, I was thinking about Christmas, and when we were young, I remember we used to always call each other, like, what did you get for Christmas? I don't know if you had friends like that. My friends, we did that.
You think I was
Well,
isolated?
I don't
Yes.
know what
Yeah.
y'all could have, I mean, you at
We used to
12 or something,
exchange-
you could have been out pimping the way you presented.
We was doing that too. We got the full length minks.
Whatever.
That's how we used to go.
No, my favorite
It's cold in
Christmas gift
Chicago.
when I was a kid was I got a 5-speed bike, green.
Did you know how to ride it?
Yeah, it was like the little.
Did you have training wheels on it?
No, it was 5-speed. And what was funny was I got it, and my dad and mom said, "Don't you go off the block."
Oh wow!
And I went off the block.
Did it get stolen?
It got stolen.
There you go.
And I went, put the kickstand up, ran in the store, came back, and then some
took
guys
it.
came and said, "Get off the bike."
Oh, they took it from you.
Took it from me.
Wow! Did you put up a fight?
No.
You got deboed.
Got
Man.
Debo all day long.
My bike.
And then he went downhill, and then I tried to chase him. So
Did you ever get it back?
no.
Did you ever see him riding in the neighborhood? See, that'd be fucked up if you ever saw him riding in the neighborhood.
No, that was back in the day when you could spray paint a bike and it'd be a different color.
Yeah.
But I never forgot that. My
Change
dad
the
just looked
wheels.
at me
Like, wow.
and said, "You'll never get another bike."
Wow.
But I just remember that. But my other favorite Christmas gift was I got a football uniform because I was really into
The full
football.
length?
Full length uniform, helmet, and all
pads?
that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was.
That's when you had the jersey.
Yeah.
You had the protective shields in the jersey. You
Yeah,
just
and
got
then
the jersey.
me and my boys went
team?
outside and played in the snow. That was a great gift. What's your favorite memory of a gift?
We got a basketball court.
Ah,
Yeah.
in front of your house?
Yep.
Cool. That was it.
No, we got it attached to the garage. It was a nice day, so we was able to it didn't snow, so we was able to hoop that day.
So who put it up?
My dad.
With that nails and hammer? Did y'all help him?
Yes. Yeah. Put it right there on the ground. It had the fiber. It was the wood square. So
And that began your basketball career.
Yes, it did.
All right.
That journey right there. I was the saddest one out of my two brothers, though, to be honest.
What do you mean, at Christmas?
No, just athletic wise.
Oh, you were the worst athlete?
Yeah, I was the worst.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was the best athlete in my family because I was the only one. Do you have a memory of your worst gift that you received?
Yeah.
What?
Nothing. It was a few Christmas when we didn't get nothing, but Merry Christmas. Be grateful that you woke up.
One time we got a Jackson 5 Christmas album.
Yeah, and y'all all had to listen to. Y'all picked one song.
Yeah, you remember that joke?
Yeah.
That was a real joke. That was real. I remember that. But I love the Jackson 5 Christmas album. And I love hearing Silent Night by the Temptations.
Yeah.
And
I mean, when my parents got divorced, that was a bad Christmas. 3 Christmases. That was bad. So I didn't get anything. But I mean, it was good though.
We always had love. We always
made
ate.
the best of it.
Always had some ham.
You go to your friend's house and you play with their toys. You play with their gifts.
As an adult, you remember your worst gift?
As an adult, yeah, it was still I really, I know I shouldn't look at it as another day, but as I became older, especially living out here, it's just another day.
I like Christmas Eve. I love how quiet it is and peaceful it is, and the streets nobody's out. I really love looking out the window Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
I just love the tone of it.
Yeah.
I'm a Grinch.
Are you?
I don't like the holidays too much.
Really?
Why?
I just think it's too commercialized. I just think people are trying to sell you things here and there. It's just, I don't know. I just am glad when the holidays pass.
Okay, that's the definition of Grinch.
Yeah. Do you spend it by yourself or you?
No, I go home. I'm with family. I love that part of it.
Okay.
I mean, I love that anytime. But
are you a gift giver?
I am, depending on what my bank look like.
Yeah.
But I don't feel bad when I don't buy gifts.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't like nowadays. It's all about the gift card and money.
Yeah.
But then
I like opening the gift.
But then if you give it to someone that you care about and that you supposedly, allegedly love, then it's like, well, you just gave me a gift card. You gave me cash. You put no thought into it. You put no effort into going to actually buying something.
Right.
I'm more like that. I'm like, okay, I give you cash. You do what you want to do.
I like giving out pajamas. I love getting pajamas on Christmas and stocking stuffers. What I used to do was I would go through her drawer and look at all her makeup and stuff that was low, and I'd go get the same makeup and put it in the stocking stuffers.
Oh, okay.
And I would look at her undergarments and see what size it was, and then go
get that.
Go get that.
Yeah,
so,
I ain't got to that point yet.
That's always thoughtful because she can't get women love having makeup. They can't because they always running out.
Yeah,
but Code 3 doesn't wear a lot of makeup.
That's good.
I can just get her some bullets.
Exactly. You play with her gun?
No, I don't play with her gun.
Does she play with yours?
Oh, this is plastic. It's a water gun.
That's funny.
Shoots darts.
Who do you think is better at buying gifts, men or women?
It depends on the person.
That's true.
I know some men that I got a buddy in Houston. Love him to death.
I thought I was your only buddy.
Nah, but he love him to death. He goes all out for his family, and they give him nothing.
But women, I
think most men get women to buy their gifts. I don't know that too many men are actively, before the whole Amazon and type thing. I think even with Amazon, I think men get women to buy their gifts. They give them the money. They say,
"Go get
what the kids want."
Yeah. I think women are definitely dominant as far as.
No, my friend, he goes out. He actually does the shopping. He enjoys that.
Yeah, before Amazon and all that, when people we're talking about
he
when
still does
people,
it now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I like going into the store now, but with COVID, you can't. But women, I guess that helps women who like we're in wheelchairs now because they can just order there.
Yeah, but I mean, but are you the type? Are you a shopper? Do you go in and like?
No, I know what I want. Like I go, what I want, get it. I don't have time. I can't go all that. And that's the one thing that I think that's women's sport. Some women, that's their sport.
But it's draining.
It's shopping. It's a sport for them. Just like we can sit around and watch sports all day, they can shop.
Right.
And I'm not mad at them. It gives them something. That's their golf.
And you have to commit to it.
As a guy, you just got to find somewhere nice. If you do that in the beginning of the relationship.
No, but you have to give them like 1 or 2 days of Christmas shopping. I gave her 1 day.
I remember when that whole Black Friday thing was really crazy.
Oh my God, yeah.
That was out of control. Yeah. But they enjoyed it. It brought a lot of women together, families together.
But they like to try stuff on, and they like to compare. Like now we shopping right now. We still shopping for my mom and her mom. Really? And just don't know what to get.
Well, I mean, is it easier to shop for your parents when they're older? Because my dad's 81, and parents.
He's about ready for a walker now.
When they're older, it seems like they appreciate everything.
Yeah, but then they tell you because I called my mom yesterday. I said, all right, I know it's cold in Chicago. I saw this nice coat. What size? I don't need a coat. I got too many coats. Well, this is a nice coat. I don't want a coat. Well, what do you want? I don't need nothing.
Yeah, why would you buy her a coat? That's not.
It's cold in Chicago.
That's for her girlfriend or somebody that knows her style. You don't know women's style. That's a nice coat.
Style. Yes.
No.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want.
I got a taste.
You got a taste. You don't take the blue pill. You just on top of things.
I have to be. Look at motherfuckers is dropping.
It's true.
We got a week left. How many comics before the end of the year?
Hey, shout out to Daryl Littleton. Yeah, they.
Yes.
I told this was crazy. I don't know if I said this last week, but I'm looking at my phone. Did I say that last week?
Yeah. No, you told me. You called me and you told me.
Yeah, I'm looking at my phone. My phone rings, and Daryl Littleton's number comes up. D. Militon, who died. And I'm like, and the coach is like, what's wrong with you? I was like, this guy died.
Is he really dead?
So I'm like, and then I picked up, and it was his wife, bless her soul, and peace to her heart. And I was like, how you doing? And then you always say the same thing.
Yeah. What? My condolences.
Yeah, and but you say, how are you doing? Which is a stupid question.
It is.
But it's like the first thing that comes out of your mouth. Like, how are you doing?
Yeah, it's like,
And Is it Mark Howard?
No.
Okay, who's calling? Caller.
Hi, I was calling to see if I could reach Louis Dix or Jeff Arnold. Apparently, their uncles are here doing the show. Who are these two weathered gray-haired sons of bitches?
Well, I'm getting my hair colored tonight. Exactly. So today, after I leave here.
My gray.
So next week, week after, I'll be dark. So wait a minute. First of all, Jeff Brown, how you doing?
Yes. How are you? How are you, gentlemen?
Man.
Hey, you know what? Does your number work? Because I've tried to call you. I sent you a text to ask you to come on the show.
Okay. Well, yes, it does work. What doesn't work is this funky ass Google Pixel 4. Because I go in and get the absolute cheapest phone available, Louis, because I'm a grown-ass man. I don't need all that other shit. Well, I need to text. So, yes. But the answer is yes, of course.
Do you have his number?
Yes.
Okay, so because we want you to come on the show, I sent you a text.
I miss my brother. How
you doing, man? How's the family?
Man, here. The family's good. Let me say this, man. We are a thing. 90 West Coast LA black comics are a fucking thing. The Bay Area comedy competition, Louis, you won, yes?
I won the first one.
Yes, Louis
He's in the
won
archives.
the first one. I believe. I won in '93. I don't know which one that was. Jeff, you didn't win any of them, did you?
I never participated in them.
Okay, then by default you didn't win. So this isn't about you. Take a break right now. We have done. We are a thing, brother. We are a capsule in time. When Daryl Littleton dies, that's a thing. We're like jazz artists of a time, and it is great to see you with gray hair. If I get a vote, don't cover your gray hair. Your gray hair is a beacon for young cats to know where to go find wisdom.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
well,
don't turn your beacon down, bro.
I'm turning my beacon to darkest brown.
But you know what though? You embrace it though, because for you, that work might start rolling in.
I'm going to embrace darkest brown because Code 3 says the same thing. I love you, Gray. I love you, Gray. Yeah, okay.
You're not playing 40-year-olds no more. You're not
Right.
You're not playing 35. You're not that young dad.
I don't need all of this.
Yeah, you do.
Let's go back to talking to Jeff.
Let's put it on Jeff.
No, Jeff looks good. Jeff wears everything well.
Jeff looks like if Colonel Sanders was black and working out.
Exactly.
He looks like Dr. J to me, like a little bit younger than Dr. J.
Or Bill Russell. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, Bill Russell. That's who I mean, Bill Russell.
You look dope, Jeff. Yours looks dope. You
appreciate
Louis,
it.
Yeah, go ahead. You look like you drive a white van and try to coax kids over with candy.
Hey,
he's still fighting it.
Now, Jeff, let me ask you a question. For those of you who know, Jeff Brown, and a lot of you do know, is
hilarious
comedian, writer,
hilarious
producer. He's written for D.L. Hughley and other greats.
Cat Williams.
What are you doing currently?
Steve Harvey, George Lopez. What I'm doing, bruh, I've decided not to write for anybody who has a bigger house than mine.
Okay.
I heard that.
I am starting comedy over like it's 1987 again. I'm going to give out my formula. Here's my formula for success. I am going to go to every little hovel, every little hole, every little place, anywhere where they speak English and face forward, and I'm going to sharpen my comedy sword to the point that it has never been, and I am not going to do big rooms until I am standing them 3 times out of 10, and then I am going to come back and take my place in comedy, which is somewhere beneath Richard Pryor and somewhere above Steve Harvey. That's what's up.
Well, the ones that know that
Yes.
you don't have to come back. You're there. It's not like they say it's not a comeback because you're Jeff. I mean, that's the beauty of really good comedians is that people know their name, Jeff Brown.
And we have the perfect place for you where you can start off. We back at the Regency West.
Yes, bruh. Louis, I'm going to disagree with you right now. I'm going to say something to you, Louis Dick, that I fully feel about. I see you as a senior. You were a junior when I was a freshman. So I see you as senior to me, but I also see you as an elite player that doesn't have a drink.
But when you looked at him, when you was that freshman and he was a senior, did you walk in the gym and say, "Yeah, I could take that nigga's job"?
I could say that's hilarious. I tried.
I could take that nigga's job. That nigga got game, but I could take that nigga's job though.
Anybody who knows the '90s knows.
Now he held it down.
Alex Thomas and Louis Dick. Nobody else made warm-up money that was black.
I disagree with that one. It was Louis first.
Oh.
It was Louis.
No.
Louis held it down for the longest.
Okay, but it was.
Dude, I don't know if you disagree. You're not disagreeing, Jeff. I'm saying that Louis Dick and Alex Thomas had all the fucking. Speedy got some of it.
Right.
Buddy got some of it, but most of it, unless Louis had laryngitis, you was broke, nigga. You was not doing.
All right, let me set the record straight. There was a gentleman before me.
Yes.
Don Reed.
Yes.
Who was the
Don
Reed is the Godfather.
Yeah.
He did the Tonight Show. He did A Different World. The only reason I got into it because he went and did the Cosby Show.
Right.
So Don Reed got me into it. Yeah. He gave me my first gig.
So
and
he's the Mecca.
Don is the Michael
Jordan.
Yeah, he's the Godfather.
Of it.
We all come down that side of the tree. We all come down that side which really, if you really want to be real about it, is the Cosby side of the house. We really, dude, I was given my black belt by Sinbad.
Right.
Sinbad taught me how to do shows.
Now, don't get me wrong. It was Wally. I forgot Wally's name. He's a New York guy.
Collins.
Wally Collins was very funny, and Godfrey Cambridge was too funny to do warm up.
Yeah.
he would go in there and destroy. He did the Cosby Show, and they said no, you can't.
You took all the laughter.
Yeah. Godfrey, they was like Godfrey.
Yeah.
The comedian. Yeah.
Oh, dark skin Godfrey?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Godfrey.
That nigga's a monster.
Oh, Godfrey was
a beast.
If you know warm up, Godfrey. They told him, no, look, you can't come back. You are too funny.
Right.
Him and J. Anthony Brown both.
Yes.
Jay got fired for being too funny.
Yeah, Jay got me. I had to do warm up for Arsenio Hall show. That was a great time. But listen, I don't know if we have Mark Howard supposed to call in. Is he in? Oh, so we keep talking to you.
Okay.
I didn't.
Great.
I didn't.
I tell you what though, if you bump me for Mark, I'll never come on your fucking show.
I know.
Wow.
I thought I was going to say that because I was like, but Mark Howard. I mean, the only reason I really invited him was because I didn't have anyone. No one else said yes.
Man, stop.
That's usually what you
that.
do.
See,
Mark Howard is the donut fair of comedy.
We gotta stop. We gotta start giving them flowers now.
I am. I'm giving them flowers. They just not blooming.
That nigga gets dandelions.
I mean, Mark Howard's what DC comic, and those DC comics, we just got a thing with.
They have a different flair.
Yeah,
but the vast majority of them are funny though.
No, they're fun. Mark Howard is funny.
Yes.
Now let's not get that straight.
But it's a couple of.
But they're all big.
Yeah.
Is Buddy from DC?
No, Buddy's from Indiana.
But the problem I have with Mark Howard is, first of all, he's a Dallas Cowboy fan, so I got a problem with that anyway. And he's from DC.
Yeah.
But Mark Howard's, but that's the problem. We're getting away from our generation. These young comics can't handle it. We would always tell each other the truth. We would always hit on each other to make each other better.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They take a lot of these comics too much into their feelings.
Hey Jeff, I want to ask you a question.
Sure.
When you write for people like DL, George Lopez, what is your approach?
Well, first I kind of have you ever seen Days of Thunder? I'm high right now, Lewis, so I'm gonna take you on a ride. It's gonna be worth the trip.
Okay.
Have you ever seen the movie Days of Thunder?
Yes.
Yeah.
With
sure.
Tom
Cruise, Robert Duvall,
and Robert Duvall.
Yeah.
I approach a comedian and his set like Tom Cruise's character in the car, and I'm Harry.
Robert Duvall's character.
Robert Duvall's character was Harry. He was the coach. He was the guy that got him out cold. You're driving the tires too hard. You're going to make them greasy. You're going to slide all around. Drive the car 4 laps my way, then drive it your way, and let's see what we got. So I'll watch George from the stage, from like when George is on stage. I'm basically polishing off Richard Pryor, to be honest. I'm polishing. George is a fucking hardcore student of Richard Pryor.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I go concept, set up, first punchline, act out, second punchline, act out, out. And I think I put my head over there. When I write for DL, you're not going to get much act out. Matter of fact, I'm going to put some of DL's business out right now. In my opinion, DL Hughley, y'all only seen the tip of the iceberg. DL Hughley could easily have his name called with Richard Pryor if that nigga would trust me, but he don't. Anyway, I have to take a Dick Gregory approach.
He is high.
With DL. I have to go straight for the metaphor. I got to go straight for the metaphor. I have to go straight for the comparison. And I write for him. I write for DL comparison backwards.
Got it.
I started a comparison, and then I'll go backwards. When I wrote for Cat Williams, but we really didn't get a chance to use any. It was me, your boy Joe Blunt. Shout out to Brandon Boland.
Yeah.
And D-Mill Latan hired us to write for Cat. And when I tell you, we was coming with fucking slang. He did. That was the time he didn't do the Hip Hop Awards.
Okay.
When I start with Cat, I start from a place of exaggeration. What's absurd? What is absurd? And then I'll work backwards from there. But for me, stand-up is a language. Those are the dialects those people speaking.
That makes sense.
Steve Harvey speaks a very southern, rolling dialect of stand-up.
Like J. Anthony Brown. No, I'm just kidding.
Like J. Anthony Brown, Don D.C. Curry.
Exactly.
Right.
Those three.
The dudes that, once they get going, as a matter of fact, J. Anthony Brown, Don D.C. Curry, and Tommy Davidson, who is totally different, are the only three comics I've ever seen go so hard that an audience asked them to stop.
Yeah, Steve Harvey's a beast, too. Hey, I wanted to ask you another question.
Sure.
You know who's... Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
You know who's always left out of that conversation when it comes to beast? His name is never brought up. Eddie Griffin.
Woo!
Well, yeah, Eddie's at a whole nother.
Yeah,
I mean, he's at a whole nother level to where you don't have to mention. And that's what's the beauty of Eddie Griffin. He's so funny and so.
Beast.
I mean, he's been doing it so long with Dice Clay in the stadiums that you wouldn't want to insult him by putting him in that group. He's Eddie Griffin.
Yes.
You know, I agree with you.
No, you know what? It's possible that you both are right. Eddie Griffin, who I've also called out from a musical standpoint in Love. I'm calling out a bunch of cats who do music. They can't make a better album than me when my album come out. Anyway, Eddie Griffin is, you got to put him over there with George Lopez in this place. Eddie honed, defined, almost made it another style of Richard Pryor. Pryor.
Yep.
Eddie perfected Richard Pryor so cold. These are the three comics closest to Richard Pryor to me right now. Eddie Griffin, who was we just talking about?
George
Lopez, and Mike Epps.
Right.
Mike Epps is so fucking scary honest. He's funny as shit, but it's not his funny. It's his fucking honesty. When Mike starts talking about the shit that make your skin crawl and then get funny, bruh, that's Richard Pryor shit. None of us have that courage. I haven't seen anybody with the courage of Mike Epps in a long time.
Yeah, Mike Epps.
Anyway.
Yeah, but Mike Epps has been incarcerated, and incarceration will do that to you. I'm assuming. I've never been incarcerated.
Is that an unfair advantage?
But
yeah, I think a lot of guys who've been through that.
But you can tell just by looking at him that, you know, he's naturally funny.
Yes.
Without being on the stage, without being in front of an audience. If he's just in the room, that's who he is.
I've watched Eddie Murphy watch Mike Epps.
Yeah, and that's the brilliancy of him. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's so many funny. That's what makes it so. Our generation, there's so many guys who are funny, but funny in their own way.
You got these new cats.
Where these new cats are funny in the same way, a lot of them.
Look at it like liquor. Red Fox, top shelf fucking hardcore bourbon. Bill Cosby. What the fuck is it that you make a martini out of?
Gin.
The best fucking gin in the world. The best gin in the world. Richard Pryor, the absolute best fucking scotch or whatever burns. What burns? Bourbon or scotch?
Bourbon.
The best fucking bourbon on the planet.
Well, let me ask you.
Bourbon was made at.
Well, let me ask you this real quick. Your Mount Rushmore. Who's on your Mount Rushmore?
Oh, fuck it does. Of course, Pryor and Cosby. Of course.
Okay.
God damn it. Okay.
Dick Gregory.
Well. First off, no. Let's do this. I'm trying to do this without crying. First, fuck Mount Rushmore because it's supposed to be about four great white men, and there was nothing great about either of the four of them motherfuckers, and it was on land they stole. So let's get away from that and make our own monument. And to tell you to speak of that, and if any of you steal this, I will murder you, but not before I make a pencil box out of your chin.
But you won't remember it though.
I am going to make a bust I'm going to make a bust that it's about 4 feet tall.
All
The
right.
top of it's Richard Pryor.
Okay.
To the left of that is Bill Cosby. To the right of that is George Carlin. To the left of him is Sinbad. To the right is Bob Newhart. To the left is Franklin Ajayi. To the right of him is George Lopez. And it makes its way all the way around in a circle, and in the back is my little ass.
Okay, Cosby has to be up top because Richard Pryor emulated Cosby, so you're wrong.
No. I would love to have that conversation with you. This is what the show's about. Pryor emulated Cosby at first,
right.
and was actually whooping Cosby's ass in that lane, and got to a place where he was making more money than Cosby.
Okay, all right. You are high. I guess you have an indica.
No. Well, let me finish this crazy shit. He was making more money than Cosby. As a matter of fact, he's making $25,000 a week. And he came out on stage one night and started his show and said, wait, I can't do this. I was raised in a whorehouse by pimps. Left the stage. Everybody told him his career was fucking over. He went up to Sacramento, and if you get a chance, get a hold of.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. But you know what we're gonna do, Jeff? We're gonna Jeff has your number because we want you to come back. We want you to come sit in. So we're gonna hit you up. Mark Howard is on the phone. So we apologize.
That. I want to hog this show.
No, we appreciate it. Thanks for calling in.
And remember, man, starting in January,
I'm not going to hang up. I'm going to keep talking till you people hang up on me.
We have a producer. We have a boss lady who do that. All right, respect, Jeff.
But I'm going to call you, man, about the Regency West.
Talking.
All right, see you later. Hey, look, this next gentleman. This dude. He actually thinks this is a real show.
It is.
Hey, this next gentleman, we got him Zoom, been on worldwide stages, BET, TV One, as well as a hit radio show called, I can't say this, the Spomedians, Spomedians. And he was in Spike Lee's hit film Glockers. And
he was in Glockers?
Yes, born in D.C., but I believe he's a Cowboy fan. Mark Howard, no joke. Are you there? Okay.
Yes, sorry, I didn't realize I was on mute. You believe correctly. I am a Cowboys fan from D.C. And Spomedians, that show is defunct.
Oh, it's no longer?
Yeah, that's a whole different story. We don't
oh, well.
You don't even want to go there.
Okay, but see, I also read that you were in Speedy and Friends, but I definitely wasn't going to read that because I'm like, that's really low.
That's
below you.
Impossible that Speedy has friends.
Right, that was below you. How are you, Mark?
I'm well, man. I'm well. Just tripping off the loss of our comrade and whatnot, but yet, we're still moving. God has blessed us to stay on.
Oh, D. Militant?
Yes.
Yes. That was sad. It's sad. I like D. Militant. He was a nice guy. He did things. He did some things for us.
Yeah.
He did some things for us by putting us in print.
Yes.
And without that, and it's interesting because he also did that book on this day.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that
I didn't realize that was done on this day. He quoted me in the book.
And what, this day or the black?
Oh, not this day. I'm doing the black comics.
Right, the black
book,
comics.
The first one he did, yeah.
Yeah, black comedians on black comedy. The day.
Black comedian on black comedy.
Right,
he quoted something I said about your guy, Bill Cosby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, interesting. Full disclosure, he interviewed me for the book, but my dumb behind never signed the stuff and sent it to him. So
you lost out. So
I lost out.
Oh, okay.
Then I saw how great the book was. I was like, okay,
there you go.
That's my attitude. But Mark,
and he got his name added up on the Comedy Store wall.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know who put that together, but they didn't even call me.
No. All you need is a ladder and some chalk, Lewis.
Hilarious. So, how many kids do you have, Mark?
I have 3. I made 2,
wow.
And I've raised 3.
So, are they boys or girls? I know your one son is a hooper.
Yeah.
Yes, one son, and then the rest are girls. God knew what he was doing, I guess, to get back at me.
Now, your son is playing where?
He's at Northern New Mexico College. It's an NAIA level program. But he's doing well right now. First year there, transferred from junior college, and they playing some nice schedule. D1. They're going to play New Mexico State Saturday and play Northern Colorado next Tuesday.
Good. Congratulations.
What JUCO did he transfer from?
He was a school up in Washington called Whatcom Community College.
Oh, okay.
Now,
cool.
I wanted to ask you, how did you get into comedy? And did you start in D.C.?
Started in D.C. I decided to get into the game. My best friend was an actor as well. Just what I had him cracking up. I was always imitating Richard Pryor and Red Fox and stuff like that on the team bus, from the basketball game, stuff like that. And then later on, I just cracked up. He said I should be a comic, and the inspiration came there really. And I started there, moved to New York, and stayed there for a year, and then came west when I was walking through Manhattan in January. I said, "You can't curse on this show, huh?"
No, yeah, you can curse.
Okay. I said, "Fuck this weather."
Got it. Now, so you were on the grind. Was who was back there with you? What other comics?
In New York back in the day, I was coming up with talent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Cool Bubba Ice, Jay, Will,
Rob Stapleton.
Artie Fuqua, who? Rob Stapleton. Yes, yeah. Rob Stapleton. I moved up there from DC right a year after Dave Chappelle did. Chappelle moved a year before I did. He moved as soon as he graduated from high school.
So you were there with Dave Chappelle and Tony Woods and all of them?
Yes, Tony Woods. Tony Woods moved a little bit after I did, but he came to Royale moved right after I did as well.
Is Royale from DC?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Was you there with Pierre?
No, Pierre was already in LA.
Okay.
Him, Tommy Davis, and Martin were already in LA.
Tommy Davis is from DC too?
Yeah.
Yes, man. DC has a plethora of comedy talent. Wanda Sykes, I was there. Wanda Sykes was she's from Virginia, but she was coming through DC. Coco Brown is from Virginia, but she came through DC for the comedy scene, a bigger city. T-Rex. Me and T-Rex started.
T-Rex. Hey, real quick,
new guys.
Mark, I have to do a transition here. It's going to be interesting because we have someone who's a little more famous than you. And we're going to add him to the show.
Who, Jeff?
No. We're
my man.
We're going to make this guy. Now, all right, I'm going to show you how more famous he is because I want to read some of his stuff. He's from Oakland, California. Now, just like D.C. has a bunch of talent, I believe Oakland has the most talent. I argue with Marcus King about that.
Yeah, DC does.
And no, just talent. Athletically. Entertainment. Yeah. Okay, he was recruited to UCLA for intercollegiate speech and debate competition. Let's see if Mark knows who this is. He became a national champion in competitive events, speech and entertainment, poetry and dramatic readings. After seeing him perform, Dr. Bill Cosby flew him to be on The Cosby Show as Theo's friend, which opened the door for me to do warm-up, as I said earlier. He was on Robert Townsend's hit HBO comedy specials, the film Meteor Man, and he's been nominated for 3 Primetime Emmys. And he warmed up for The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. And he has a one-man show, East 14th Street, that was a hit and going out. So now, you know who that is, Mark?
Dude, this is my guy. Let me tell you, I'm going to make you feel old, Lewis.
Uh-huh.
You and this brother here, I watched on Robert Townsend's Partners in Crime before I started doing stand-up. And so you guys are part of, with Robin Harris, are part of the people that made me inspired to do stand-up. There's no doubt about that.
Well,
so Don Reed
has
always shown me love and respect in this game, man. So yes, sir.
Don Reed, welcome to the show. Hey, Don.
And he still look as young as he did when he did the damn Robert Townsend.
Classic.
Don Reed. What's up,
Don?
What's happening, you guys? What's happening?
We apologize that Mark is in your space right now. We tried to get him off, but he called too late. And so we're going to just we got to be kind to him because he's bigger than all of us. So, hey, real quick, Don, we asked Mark this question. How did you get into comedy?
How did I get into comedy? I got into comedy because there was a comedy event in the intercollegiate speech and debate competition. There was a funny event. And so then after doing pretty well in the event, I went to the Punchline in San Francisco and died the death of a million men trying to do a speech.
Yeah.
I had a thesis statement, 3 main points in a nightclub where people are drinking and smoking and going, wait, are you doing a presentation? I did a whole speech with a closing argument. They say, get the food out of here with that.
A closing argument?
It did not go well, but I kept trying. And then after that, moved to LA, was in a comedy team with a white guy. He's black, I'm white. What's not funny about that? We had no structure or anything. Then he tried to kill me, but that's a whole different story. I mean, and I got a yes, really? He did. He tried to choke me. Tried to choke me out. It didn't work though.
Oh wow, wow, that's a book. So when you did go solo, how did you figure out your niche to combine the speech and because you're really animated in the physical comedy? How did you decide that was going to be your niche?
Well, I started doing impersonations, a lot of impersonations and sound effects. I picked up sound effects in the 6th grade in a music class in Oakland. The school couldn't afford any musical instruments. So the instructor would just play music on an album and say, if the school could afford instruments, we could play this. And so I start experimenting with stuff. And then I started messing with him when I learned how to do bird sounds. I sit in the back of the class and go. Wow, there you go. He go, apparently there's a bird trapped in the room. And when we get that out of here, we'll be fine. And I incorporated, as time moved on, those sound effects into my stand-up. And oddly enough, Gavin Pallone, a producer from who ended up being a producer with Curb Your Enthusiasm, saw me doing warm-up at A Different World. And he said, just watching, you could probably do voiceover. And that's how I ended up getting into voiceover after that, with Sinbad and Kaz hooking me up with audience warm-up at A Different World, then recurring character Chip on there. But I started doing voiceover back then too for Spider-Man, the Flintstones, and some other stuff. And that all came out of the stand-up blaze as well.
Yeah, because we were Jeff Brown was talking earlier about, he said that myself and Alex were the king, and I had to correct him that no, it started with Don Reed, because if Don Reed hadn't, go ahead.
And it would have been Sinbad, but Sinbad leaped further, faster, and so he gave me that gig at A Different World.
Right, and then you leaped to the Cosby Show and gave me A Different World. So you see how it works.
Hey, wait a minute, Louis. Speedy says he's the best warm-up.
Yeah, when Jamie Foxx hires him, yes. Yes. When his stepfather, Jamie Foxx, hires him, yes. And I have no problem with that, because Jamie Foxx is one loyal dude to Speedy.
Right.
I mean,
yes.
I mean, I wish that, sometimes you grow in this business, he's like, I should have been friends with him.
Yeah, he definitely did. Can I mess up with talking about with Don? I'm gonna say this. With Don and the voice overs and the sounds and the sound effects. I went to Langston University, a little old black school in Oklahoma. And one of the students I went to school with was performing, doing shows at the school. He was on radio in Oklahoma City. He would do all the concerts, doing all the voices. And we're watching him, said he stole Jay Lamont's thing.
What, Don?
Jay Lamont. Don. So we were like, but you already, what if you stole? Is that you got on the bigger screen before Jay did. So we were like, Jay get ready to blow up like that. Then we saw Don, and it was like, oh, that's already done.
No, and I hear what you say, but I think they're totally different, because Jay Lamont does more singing.
Yes,
and Don was more comedic. I mean, and I love Jay Lamont, but Jay Lamont, Don was different. He was different.
He was different. And Jay's my guy. We just talk about that because Jay did that. But Jay's first love was music. He was wanting to do music, and then he really fell into having to do stand-up when he moved to Houston, and that's how it really came about. Don was already doing this on the stand-up stage. Jay was just performing. He was opening for all the big acts back in the day that came through Oklahoma City and Tulsa.
Yeah, but
he was just doing the sound.
I've seen Don do his one-man show, right? And dramatically, it's not a contest. I love Jay Lamont.
Yeah, no.
But Don has, I mean, that comic, he can go comedy, drama. And then Don, I was going to ask you, and Mark, don't worry, we'll ask you some questions too. But right now,
I got you, Mark. Don't worry.
Don, I know that you produced Robert Townsend's, co-produced Robert Townsend's one-man show. What was that like for you?
That was a wonderful full circle moment, because Robert had mentioned when we were doing Hollywood Shuffle and those things back in the day. That I was already, he said, with all your movement and your characters, you're already writing, directing, producing, and starring in a production. So never let anybody tell you can't direct. Never let them tell you that. And I remember that. And I got some really nice deals via warm-up. I met some key people, Stan Lathan in particular, who directs all of Chappelle's specials, gave me a deal at HBO. And I wrote, directed, and starred in some short films for Def Jam. But that groundwork that Robert had laid down for Partners in Crime, writing and directing, producing, when I started doing solo shows, started in LA, finally told the truth about my life. My stepfather forced us to be in that religion that rhymes with Jehovah's Witnesses. I couldn't take it no more. So I moved in with my real dad, but I didn't know he's a pimp. And that was my true story.
It's a good religion.
I hid behind characters and sound effects that I didn't want to talk about Jehovah's Witnesses knocking doors 100 hours a month. And my father, straight up, I just thought he was really in the hat. I didn't know he was a pimp, but it turned out he was. But those true stories led to those next levels. And Robert saw, he flew to New York in my opening night off Broadway, New York, of my one-man show, East 14th, about Jehovah's Witnesses and the pimp's lifestyle, and noted for the first time the dramatic capabilities. And so when he saw me doing it, he always wanted to do it for years. He kept teasing it. Since around 2008, he was teasing that he was going to do a show. So when he said, by that point, I had 7 one-man shows. I have 9 now.
Wow.
He said, hey, man, I gotta get down with you on this. So it was really, really empowering to see the very person who empowered me to flip that back. Right. But Robert, he already has the whole package. It was just some fine finessing and some elements I share, but he's a real deal, as you know.
Now, when you go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You want to ask Mark? Don, bear with us. We have to ask Mark a question just so we can, make him feel.
You ain't got to ask me nothing.
No, go ahead. Ask Mark a question. Mark, Mark, is it any subject that you won't make fun of?
No.
No?
He said no.
So you'll go anywhere.
I haven't found one yet. Actually, I won't talk about doing number 2 in the bathroom. That's something that should be understood and not really, conversed over.
Yeah, that's funny because Don, Beverly Muse, and she does not like.
She don't like that.
She doesn't like taller jokes.
She doesn't.
That's it.
Oh, wow.
I know Beverly Muse too. Louis.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, she's my muse, and she doesn't. If you go there, she looks at me like, "That's what we doing right now. What we not gonna do today." Wow. Now, Mark, do you celebrate Christmas?
Not anymore, no.
Okay.
But I don't let my kids not, so I let them enjoy it.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you and Don this because we were talking about Christmas coming up, and we were talking about our favorite gifts when we were a kid, and we know Don, when you moved with your real dad, you didn't get any, so.
How do you know?
No. When I was with my stepdad, I didn't get nothing.
Right. Yeah, because stepdad, Jehovah's Witness doesn't celebrate Christmas, right?
Right.
And the pimp dad, I'm sure he gave him a nice gift for Christmas.
You got a Cadillac, all that shit.
No. Which one you want, son?
Yeah. What? Either one of you, what was your favorite gift?
Josephine, come in here.
Make my boy a man.
I have to say, Mark's kind of accurate on that because I missed 5 birthdays. And so by my 17th birthday, things were getting kind of cool over there. And so around Christmas time, he said, hey, baby, remember I told you could do whatever you want to do? Remember I told you that? All right, I'm about to go downtown for a long ass time, all right? I ain't gonna be around. Your brothers ain't gonna be around. All right. Do whatever you want to do. All right. He took off. Soon as he left, hey Don, what's up? I'm up the street. What you want to do? I'm like, what I want to do. My father set that moment up, but it wasn't a working girl. It's just somebody from the neighborhood who he had convinced it's time for my Christmas present.
Go take care of myself.
So all right, yeah.
Sally may go in there and do what you do.
Okay, so your dad had skills. Right. She wasn't a working girl, but he convinced her to work. Okay.
He was killing two birds with one stone.
Yeah. Mark, you have a favorite Christmas gift? I mean, you can't top that, but.
No, I really can't top that. Off the top, a Christmas gift. I can't think of one off rip there. I've been blessed. When I was a kid coming up, my parents definitely had things for me. So I can't give one, man. Just
were your parents still
just
together?
Just the best. No, my parents broke up when I was like 2 years old, but they were always really. I spent as much time with my dad as I did with my mom.
Okay. Did you really?
So yes. I mean, my dad couldn't have been no closer had he lived in the same house, Don. And so I went to his house every weekend during the holidays, all summer. I was with my dad.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Hey, now,
that wasn't happening in my house.
Yeah. Now it's funny because I was thinking about Jehovah's Witness and I was thinking about the Jackson 5 with Jehovah's Witness, but they put out a Christmas album.
Yeah. Santa Claus is coming.
Well, look here.
Joe was about to
Jehovah
get that money.
Don't say nothing about making profit.
Yeah.
By commercial.
Now, Don, you have two boys, right?
Yes.
Now, when they were kids, and you too, Mark, when did you tell them there was no Santa Claus, or how did that come about?
Man, I think I probably took it as long because I missed 5 Christmases.
Okay.
I think I probably overdid the Christmas. I probably told them last week, I think.
That was good. And how old are they now? 20 and 22?
The 20, 25 and 23.
Okay.
Wow. Mark, when did you give it up?
I didn't give it up. My kids figured it out and told me there was no Santa Claus. Real talk. Yeah. And just had to get me to confirm it. My first wife was mad because my older daughter, she was asking me, and I wasn't going to lie to her. I said, well, no, there's no real Santa Claus, but Mom and them are giving you Christmas, so call them Santa Claus.
Wait, hold up. What age was she?
Like 8, 9.
Now, was she both of you guys' daughter?
No, my oldest baby is my ex-wife, my first wife's daughter.
Oh man, come on!
Someone previous to me. Unfortunately, her father was killed when she was very young. I came into her life when she was 6, and I've raised her ever since.
And you told her at 8 that there was no Santa Claus?
No, she asked me. So should I lie to her?
No, you should have. I don't think.
We had this debate because I told my son.
No, I think you should have said.
Why? Why lie to him?
No, not 8-year-old.
Why?
That's cold.
That's not. That's reality.
Come on.
Hey, look, I don't care who gives them a gift.
I agree with that. Now, your ex-wife was upset, right?
Why are you gonna give a fictitious person?
She's a little bothered.
I would have been bothered too, man.
But why you gonna give a fictitious
person marry you
all that credit though? When you out here busting your ass year round.
You don't Don, how do you feel about that? I don't think that's cool.
Ideally, you should try to I think. I know because I missed them. I try to make Christmas a huge deal every year. But at some point, if they don't know, they're going to get embarrassed at school by somebody saying, you still think there's a Santa Claus? You a fool-ass fool. So
at 8,
my dad
at some point, they're going to find out there's no chimney in the apartment.
Exactly. We got steel
on
doors.
The bottom floor with people living above us.
Yeah, we got steel doors.
That's that DC code. See, that's that DC
That's that
code.
black stuff. Philly, Oakland, Chicago, DC.
Exactly.
A black man's gonna tell their kid, "Man, ain't no white man coming in this neighborhood to give you shit."
Exactly.
Hey,
I get up and go to work every goddamn day.
Okay, I want to throw out some questions to both of you, and either one of you can answer or both can answer. Some things about what you can and can't do. Can either one of you cook or you cannot cook?
I can cook.
I have to be honest. I know how,
but you don't.
But I don't.
Why not?
And it's a straight up rebellion against my stepfather, who controlled everything. You got to do this. You got to do this. You got to. I know how to make a mean shrimp scampi, but I don't do it at all. Wow. Every place I've lived, from the 23 years I was married, I'll make some eggs for the boys in the morning or something because my wife was gone at the time, but we're no longer together. I haven't cooked a meal in a long time.
Now, do you still hold on? Do you still hold on to that from your stepdad?
What's that?
Do you still hold on to that from your stepdad, being that type of person?
I say, I recently realized he gave me my biggest gift. So I just now don't like the act of having to cook. I rather do other creative things with my time. But I did just recently, in terms of you kind of tracking into holding on things from my stepfather. He's the first person who ever told me that I should speak or perform. So the very person who controlled me and held me down is the very person who informed me of my gift.
Right.
So
you can speak and perform, but don't cook, man.
I agree, Don. In some parts of what you're saying, I can cook, but I don't think that there's any reason for us to cook when there's a perfectly good woman in the house.
That's hey, I'm not mad. Hey, the name of this show is In a Man's World, and Mark, I think you've helped some women out there, and I concur with that.
Exactly.
How are you guys with technology?
I'm okay. I'm basic.
Are you getting into this?
I am really good with graphics, and it came about through a unique set of circumstances via voiceover. At one point, I was asked by Yvette Lee Bowser had a new show at NBC, and they needed a person to do the voiceover and to write the copy. And I nailed it in a short window of time. You know that show For Your Love?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So that series, I created all the promos like tonight on NBC. I voiced them, I wrote them, and they hired me. I ended up co-running an entire division at NBC, creating taglines for Saturday Night Live, Seinfeld, Friends, Frasier, ER, all those shows. It just happened. And through that process, I got caught up in the whole process of also the graphics, the NBC logo and things like that. So after I left NBC, I've done it for everybody. I've done it for video games, Halo, PS2, Tyler Perry features, all kinds of stuff.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Don. There was another black gentleman named James. I think that was his first name, who was an NBC guy that was in the advertising part of that. Was there? Because he was on a different world.
He might have been. We might have been in different windows. I was there from 98 to 2000, and then I left and started doing my own thing.
Good. And now, what about, either one of you golf? I'm not a golf.
But
go ahead, Mark.
I grew up around the game. My father played it all through DC. I met some of them black golfers that were on the professional tour. The only one I didn't know was Cal and Pete. But I met Lee Elder. I met Charlie Sifford, Jim Thorpe, guys who were black golfers on tour. I always tell people when people were talking about Tiger Woods, I said, I've seen black folks on the golf course. That's all I saw was black folks on the golf course.
Are you in that?
But I stopped playing when I got around high school. I just didn't have a love for it.
Okay. Don?
My wife and I went with, at the time when I was married, with another couple. We went to a driving range. And I had a couple of sweet spot hits. And the guy said, hey, you should go out with me. And my Exie, I call her. Helena, you met her before. We're still really good friends. She's like, I can see the look in your eyes. I'm not going to see you. Could you wait on this? I can tell by the look in your eyes that you really want to be doing this. And so I held off, and I planned to wait until I retired. But I did buy a putter. And to this day, I've only been out on a full course probably 3 times in my life. But in terms of putting, I've putted against some people who are long-time golf players, and I got some flow on them. They're like, how'd you get that good? And the way I got good is my stepfather told me to never touch his putter and his golf ball. And what I would do is I had to vacuum the living room every day under the, Jehovah's Witness rules and do what I say. And I would vacuum the rug so it laid just like a perfect green. And I would putt a couple of times and put back his putter and his golf ball. But that's how I learned how to putt in the living room. Okay. And I have a really nice putter now. I'll go putting with people, not to putt golf. I mean, on an actual putting green.
So, Don, is your stepfather
any day now?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Any day now, I'll be rolling with Alex Thomas, Ingle Woods, any day.
Now, Don, is your stepfather still with us?
No, he's not.
Okay, because I was going to say, all these stories you're giving us, Child Protective Service is going to come talk to him.
But to me, it sounds like there's some real love for stepdad, and you might as well let it go. Stop holding on to being rebellious.
Here's a weird question. Can either you are you good at climbing a tree or climbing over a fence?
Well, at this size, I can't climb.
No,
over
I mean when
shit.
you were younger or whenever, I mean I could never do that.
You could never climb a tree?
I couldn't climb a tree. Or
Was you ever chased?
No, not really.
There was no trees in Chicago or Philadelphia or DC and Oakland.
There's trees in Chicago.
Trees in Oakland?
There's trees in Chicago.
We climbed through windows.
Yeah. Fire escapes.
Now,
Fence, high
I would
fences.
think Don can, because Don is limber and
Let me tell you what I did. When I was about 19, the look in Oakland was the 40s vintage clothes. And I got a double-breasted brown gabardine jacket, chocolate-colored buttons, chocolate-colored baggy pants, orange cognac-colored tie, matching orange kerchief. What? On point.
Clean.
And my boy had a used Bentley. We went out. We went to the Edgewater Inn. I had to pee really bad. And so there was a short cyclone fence, and I hopped over it. And I was going to hop back over to go wash my hands, and I ripped my pants right in the back. And I thought, because they were brown, my skin was brown, maybe it'll match, nobody will notice, but they could tell.
And
I went in the bathroom, and I said, I got to be inventive. I got to be different, right? And I took the orange kerchief, and I fished it down into that hole and had like a fashion flourish hanging, like I'm going to be different. Groundbreaking, Oakland, orange tie, orange, like material hanging down. And I was on the floor dancing. This girl said, "Oh, that's cool." And then we went to the side. She said, "Oh, it's so fun dancing with you, Don. But what's up with the booking tail? What's up with the tail?" I'm like, "There ain't no tail. That's a fashion floor." She said, "No, that's a tail, brother. That's a tail." So that's the last time I hopped over a fence.
Oh, all right.
And how old were you when you had that? When you did that?
19.
See, that pimp shit with your dad wear it off. See, played it, came into effect.
Now, how about spelling? Where you guys are spelling? Can you guys spell?
I'm a spelling fool. Taglines. If I could just throw something at you guys real quick. Creating taglines at NBC. My break off to be able to do it on my own. There was a game called Shrek Super Slam, right? Mm-hmm. And that's the wording and the spelling. Shrek Super Slam was a game that DreamWorks and Activision put out. And in the game, Shrek, Genji, and Fiona are all fighting. And they say you got to come up with a tagline for that. And they went to a bunch of big companies. But I came up with Shrek Super Slam, kick some fairy tale. They were like, boom, that's it. And that allowed me to do that for a ton of companies over the years.
Wow.
But that ain't telling us if you can spell.
Yes, it does, because I can know how to spell fairy tale.
Okay, fair enough. Mark, can you spell?
Yes, very much so.
What about
I embarrassed our mutual friend named Speedy because well, anyway.
Well, that's not hard. That's not hard. Speedy.
No, because he tries to act like he knows. Never mind.
Yeah. Now, what about swimming?
I don't know why he tries to challenge me on that. It's like, dude, you do not want to get in spelling contest with me.
I can't spell. What about swimming? Can either of you swim?
Yeah, I swim.
I don't swim.
Hey, I got to go right now. No, I'm not. No, I was trying to get out of the conversation about swimming. I'm not a great swimmer. You know who can swim, Lewis? Dave Williams.
Oh, Kenny.
My cousin Dave. I'm talking about crazy. In fact, he what's the brother's name? It's difficult to pronounce his name, and we should work more on African pronunciations. The African brother who is now married or close to the creator of Baby Fat. Who's
Demond.
Oh yeah, Russell Simmons' ex-wife.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't think they're together anymore. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that brother who was in Amistad.
Right.
Jaimin Hunsu.
Yeah, Dami Hansu. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Jaimin. The D is silent.
Yeah.
Like
Dave was his stunt double diving off the slave ships in that film.
Really?
Oh, wow.
And all that swimming that they had to do, that was Dave. Believe it or not.
Wow.
Dave, you don't know how to swim?
I know how to get from edge to edge. I know I'm not saving anybody. You on your own.
Right.
Again, we're city guys. You didn't go to like the city pools in the summer.
Yeah, really? You don't know how to backstroke, breaststroke?
I just said no stroke.
Wow.
What about an instrument? Either you guys play an instrument? We know you play one. instruments by your mouth, Don, but any real instruments?
In the 6th grade, I was playing trombone. And I was getting pretty good. I can play the congas to this day. My father was a great conga player and played with the Escobedos and Taj Mahal and some other people. But in the 6th grade, I was playing the trombone, and my brother, because you had to rent, borrow a instrument back in those days, and my brother took the trombone to almost its full extent right before it would go to the full extent and bended it across just to see what it looked like. And my mother had to pay for it. And so that was the last time I played an instrument that, it's like different from the congas.
Wow. I came up attempting to learn how to play the trumpet or cornet, actually. And then I gave up on that and wanted to play the drums. And I always remember that episode of the Cosby Show where he talked about how you had to go through the little measure, bop, 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 bop.
Right.
And I know exactly what he was talking about. And I said, if I don't get to the part where we can go boom, 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 play that, then forget it. I'm done. I didn't have the patience. At 10 years old, I definitely didn't have the patience.
Now, I'm glad I have both of you on because I made a note about so much talent that comes out of the Bay Area. I don't know what's in the water. But then when Mark started saying all the talent that came out of D.C., I'm like, wow. So what do you think that is? Why do you think that is, Mark and Don? Why has so much talent come out of, entertainment, music, sports? I mean, Oakland is just incredible.
Oakland?
Go ahead, Mark.
No, go ahead. You were talking about Oakland.
Or DC.
I really believe it has a lot to do with it being the seat of civil rights. A lot to do with the first time people felt they could break through, the Black Panthers and factions of the NAACP realizing they're being empowered out of the action taken there. People were feeling freer about fashion, about music, about empowerment. And I think that has a lot of root into why it's the home of so much creativity and sports that rather than feeling kind of shackled mentally, as some people do in certain other areas in the country, it was an area that beamed with pride, power, and defiance. Mm-hmm. And by that, people felt closer to reaching their full extent. That's my perspective.
Well, Mark?
I would say to you, and I learned this when I first went to Oakland, is that it reminded me quite a bit of DC. Mm-hmm. Largely Black populated. Yeah. A smaller town. It's not San Francisco, obviously. It's a smaller town. So I believe this part, and I just thought about it when Don was saying it, is that it's a more concentrated city, concentrated area. DC is where we have go-go music. Bands have come out of there. Musicians have come out of there. People may not know, Marvin Gaye, Pearl Bailey. My dad grew up with Pearl Bailey. Johnny Gill, Stacey Lattisaw, a famous artist that's come out of there. Along with other actors and comedians. So I think it's just that small, concentrated area that probably works within itself, and you formulate that strong network and the business, and we grow from that because it's just like a tight cluster of people that Don could probably name that come around at the same time to Oakland, and I named, especially in the comedy game that came out of D.C.
Yeah, Benjamin Banneker, of course, designed D.C. Yeah. So listen, I want to thank both of you for taking time to, I love both of you, Don, Mark. Thank you so much for taking your time. And do you guys want to give out your social media? I forgot about that stuff. The boss told me to.
Hey, real quick, if I could say, tell Jeff to cut that gray out, man. Stop trying to look old.
Now,
man.
See that's interesting because
y'all still
Jeff,
trying to live.
Jeff is so full of shit.
Jeff Brown said that it looked good, and he
I'm wearing my gray. That's a badge of honor.
Jeff is so full of shit.
I'm going darkest brown today, so I got an appointment at 1:30. So I'm getting
you don't act like you got great. Anyway, go ahead.
Do you want to, Don? Social media, because I know this is your last week of going out. Is this?
Actually, it's going to be extended. Going to come back in the new year in Berkeley, but then a very long run in San Francisco, and that's Going Out. It's a one-man show about me standing in line to get my second vaccination shot and my booster thereafter. And because we couldn't go out, I waxed philosophic on all the memories and stories about going out from the past, from back in the day forward, as well as certain moves you can use to get people to back off from you in line. And standing in line, just pretend like you're giving directions to somebody and say, yeah, just come around the back and swing your arm, and they have to move the hell back.
That's
so
funny.
It's got a lot of humor, but a lot of dramatic heart as well from all the people we lost doing it. But that's at themarch.org. You can follow me on Instagram at Don Reed Wow, and you can find me on Facebook quite easily. I don't really do Twitter that much, but those are them. Mark, right?
Yeah, Don, definitely. I know we're friends on IG, so definitely hit me up. I want to see your one-man show.
Yeah, I do
I've
too.
talked about it and then not done it, and then I kind of didn't hear about it. I thought maybe you stopped, but to know you've done 9 is like trifling that I haven't seen 1. But Mark Howard, no joke, on Facebook and Twitter, and then Mark makes me laugh on IG.
Okay. Well, thank you both of you, man. Peace to y'all. Have a good holiday. Stay safe.
Safe holidays, man.
Love y'all, man. Talk to you.
Love y'all, man. Thank you for doing the show.
Love you, bro.
Appreciate y'all.
Later.
Wow.
All right.
Don Reed, Mark Howard.
Classic.
That was great. I'm Louis Dix.
Jeff Arnold.
And what's the name of the show?
It's in a man's world.
Mark told the women to cook.
So
that was pretty
2021.
And we're talking about we're gonna make a transition. But before we do, because the boss lady hit me up, and this is what's interesting, okay?
Right.
Whenever I text her, I can like hear her voice texting me back. Because I text her and I said, this is what's so funny. I said to her, because I'll tell her, who's coming on the show. And I said, look, good evening, boss. I was thinking about doing this as a segment at the end of the show and calling it News Stories from the Boss's Desk. Some news stories about Megan Thee Stallion, Zach, whatever. And she says, or the Poetess Report.
Oh, wow. She named her. She gave her her own segment.
I'm like, so okay, and it was in all caps.
Okay.
So we're gonna do that segment called. She said she has an intro too.
Yeah, it's a little
music,
intro
yeah,
that
okay.
I usually use for the Poetess
Okay.
Wow.
25% of the companies
Graphics,
in the
everything.
country.
Oh.
We don't got nothing like
We don't
that.
have no
that's
graphics,
just, oh
like,
my
that's
God.
I know I gotta make you guys a new intro.
Oh my God. This is like, and this
We
is.
gotta stop using the James Brown because it's giving me too many copyright.
Okay, yeah, we
Okay.
could. Well, if you
We're
can
gonna
come up
make
with
you.
some.
We're gonna make you guys an original.
Yeah, where you hear some bites from us talking and some of our guests. That'd be cool. I mean, okay, another producer just walked in. She doesn't walk in; she strolls in. This was a
As she
producer,
should, yeah, she just
Sheena,
comes in,
that had
yeah.
that great question last week. We'll never get chicken and waffles ever again.
Yeah. So what's happening on the
Poetess
Poetess
Report.
Report?
Okay, let's go.
Okay. Shout out to my bestie Sheena. She's in the building.
Hey, she.
When we get really, she just walked by again. She's so funny. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so these are stories actually that Lewis chose this week,
for the
and
Poetess
I guess
Report. Look at you.
No, I thought she was
Y'all
going to
collaborate.
keep one of them. I didn't think
Right.
she was going to keep them all.
Okay.
Right.
I thought her and Sheena would say.
No.
Okay, so what's his name?
She said, "What's his name?"
Trey Lorenz.
Tory Lorenz.
Tory Lanez.
Tory Lanez.
What's his name?
Tory Lanez. What's he up to now?
Well, they actually started the trial with him and Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah, Megan Thee Stallion. Now, what did she? Well, first, congratulations because she
She
graduated, right?
from Texas Southern.
Yeah, so congratulations to her. So what happened for us old people?
Well, it was allegedly that they was coming from a party with Kylie Jenner in the summer, and they were allegedly dating. Didn't want no one to know, and they got into some kind of skirmish or something, and he brandished a gun, and allegedly the gun discharged and hit her in the foot.
In the toe, like Eddie Murphy in
Yeah.
Harlem Nights.
Yeah, but she's saying
shot my toe.
Yeah, but she's saying he shot her. And he's saying
And he did.
But he's saying something.
And he said, "Dance, bitch," before she got shot in the foot. Well, so getting shot in the foot will make you dance.
I mean,
I guess so.
Got to get on the good foot.
I know what's funny is I told a friend, I said, when I told them we're going to talk about this story, I was like, I'm not really sure I want to talk about it. And they were like, she didn't die.
Yeah, so I mean,
like, all right.
But she put out a restraining order against him, and he violated that. So,
yeah, and the other thing was, I think when this first happened, that Megan was trying to keep it low key, like she wasn't gonna press charges or do any of that. But he started going on social media.
Well, he's trying to clear his name.
Talking shit, and then she was like, "Oh well, I guess I'm gonna have to do what I got to do."
Right, but I mean, the thing that came out because he's facing a gun charge.
As he should.
Yeah, he's looking at.
But he's trying to say, he's trying to say that
she tried to protect him from that.
Yeah, she was.
She did, but he kept running his mouth, so he got himself into that.
Because she was like, the gun was just in the vehicle. Then he tried to throw it on security. And say, my security did it, and then,
these young boys are out of control, man.
So, and then it just came back to where, like Porter said, that he just started going like, when Megan did this and that, and she just came out and said, "Nigga, no, you shot me." And once she did that, it took a whole different turn.
Well, I hope everything works out and she's safe, and he gets himself some help as far as pulling out a gun. That's not necessary.
And I guess speaking of domestic violence, you also brought this story up with the football player
Zach
Stacy, who claims that his ex-wife or wife tried to set him up or stage.
Yeah, I was hanging out with Jeff, talking to Jeff, and Jeff's like, "Did you hear about this story?" And I was like, "What?"
I mean,
what happened, Jeff?
I mean, from the video, it was just a minute clip. And she had the camera perfectly set up. So when he came in, whatever she did or said to get that reaction, she got it. So, and that's what, social media blew up about.
Because he was throwing her across the room.
The way he smacked her, and he picked her up, slammed her head first into the television. Then he picked up and body slammed her on the table. Then he kicked her. All in front of their 5-month-old son.
And that was he's like an NFL running back.
Yeah. Okay, my thing is, even if she did set it up, why you could have walked away?
Yeah, and that's the whole thing.
And he's saying
you could have walked away. Is it worth losing your career?
Well, he was already out the league, so.
He has been in the league for 7 years, right? Yeah. I think it's the CTE thing. I mean, but also he was saying, I heard him talking to the cops at the airport when he got arrested, and I was listening to that, and he was talking about that she set me up, and then she was like, "How do I get my behind whipped?" I don't understand how that's a setup when you putting your hands on her, throwing her across the room.
Yeah, so I mean, she didn't deserve any of that. I mean, it's just whatever she did or whatever, he could have just easily walked away. He didn't have to come over, right. And then telling his son on the way out, "I love you, man. I'll see you
But
later."
He's 5 months old, so the good one. There's no good part about it, but he won't remember that.
Well, hopefully he won't. But then his mom.
I mean,
but it's that's the whole thing. Because social media now, so that will be around. So as he gets older, someone may play that for him.
Well, he's eventually going to
so that
7 years from now. So someone. I mean, okay. Well, when he does research on his daddy, if he becomes a athlete.
Yeah.
I mean, these young boys. I mean,
but it's we living in, right now.
Somebody in the chat room said 5-year-olds don't snitch. I mean, 5-month-olds.
I mean, but right now, LA is hot right now. Yeah, they go at it,
Oh, and someone also said they want to see Jeff bring back headlines in health or whatever, your segment you had last time.
Well, first, healthy. I feel healthy. I'm 183. I just weigh myself.
Really?
I'm 183. I feel good. I get 3 times a week. I'm working out. I don't do enough cardio though.
You're a lightweight.
I don't do. You're what?
220.
Yeah, I don't do enough cardio. And then I had a little heart thing, and then I had to go to the doctor.
Oh wow.
And then they told me my heart was beating too fast. They put me on the E thing, whatever.
EEG.
Yeah. And so then he said he didn't know what it was, and then
might have
I had to walk around with a patch
on
wow. For a week, and they monitored it, and they didn't find anything. He just said.
So is there anything special you want me to say about you?
No. So then he just told me, like, he was a heart specialist, cardiologist. He said you have to the heart's a muscle too, and you have to work out.
You got to work it out, yeah.
Because he put me on the treadmill.
Right.
So.
But you don't like to walk or anything. You don't like to run.
No, I don't like running, but I do walk. But I'm starting to run at practice with the team. So I'm doing my
walk
17.
every day though. I do Runyon Park every day. Me and Daryl, we go up the incline.
I'm going to get better at it. So, and let's please, guys, especially comedian, well, everybody, health is important, and we'll get that segment back to where I have been taking my vitamins of over 50. I take those, and then I have
really,
and then I take
supplements. You take that?
I take my vitamins, and then I take zinc, and I take
So you just won't listen to me and just like cut all that out and just eat healthy. So you don't have to take all of that.
What, the vitamins are good, and vitamin D. I take vitamin D. I take vitamins, multivitamins, and vitamin D and zinc.
Okay.
And I talked to a healthy guy. He said that's what you're supposed to take because we don't get enough vitamin D.
Okay.
Because of our melon, and when we're out in the sun, we're supposed to get it, but it doesn't.
But water brings all that back, though.
I'm better at drinking. I've been drinking a lot of.
Are you drinking
Crystal
alkaline?
Light. Yes, I'm doing it. I'm trying. Well, now I'm drinking Ralph's because it's on sale.
No,
no.
They got big bottles of alkaline water at the 99-cent store.
Okay, now I'll go get them. And it's so funny because every time I say something when Code 3 and I are chilling, or something about a TV show, or that the film is wrong, or something like that, she's like, "Okay, Jeff."
Yeah.
Okay, Jeff.
Well, Tiffany's getting like that too. She's like, "Oh, you got me saying all of that now. I hate watching the movie with you."
So you're supposed to not say her name. You're supposed to give her a different name.
She wants her name said. Trust me, she wants it to be known out there. Yeah, she wants her name said, so. And I have no shame in it, so it's all good.
She wants her name said.
She wants her name said.
That is hilarious. All right, I ain't mad at you, Tiffany.
Yeah,
she's funny.
Yeah.
She cracks me up. She's funny. She's. I remember when we were performing at the Improv. Was it the Improv down in San Diego? She was so into the show, Laugh Factory. I was like, "You gonna film?" Oh, then she got her camera.
Yeah, she got her camera.
But I think she started filming herself first. Then she had to flip it.
That's what she does. Yeah.
I was like,
she's social media though.
Was that it? Go.
No. Before we get to our caller, I wanted to shout out New York's new police commissioner.
Oh,
yeah.
There she is.
She is the first woman to lead the department. And she spent 25 years with the Nassau County Police Department and most recently served as chief of detectives. She grew up in Queensbridge houses. I guess that's where Nas is from, right?
Right.
Okay.
And she now lives in Valley Stream. And she loves to cook and host dinner parties for her friends. So we want to say congratulations. I hope I don't screw up her name. Keechant Sewell, New York's new police commissioner.
And the new black mayor.
Yeah, but
you think it's going to make a difference? Because to me, no matter who's in the police seat, folks are never happy with the police.
Yeah, but she's got, she got to dismantle that broken window policy they got going on in New York, too. I've been reading about that too.
What is that?
That's like when they really coming down on the black and Latino community, policing, like over policing, stopping them for everything. Just walking down the street, they just pull you over. It's gone beyond the stop and frisk that they used to have. And that's what the new mayor put her in place so they can continue that policy. And people in New York in the boroughs have been trying to get rid of that. Because the black, and especially the black men and Latino, they targeted the most. Where you just can't walk down the street and New York City police just pull you over for anything. Your pants down.
Well, she's from the project, so hopefully that makes a difference.
Yeah, and congratulations to her. I mean, wow, I'm sure when she was growing up, I mean, here it is. She's of the city, and hopefully
But
she's
you gotta
for
know
the
your city though, and if you.
Well, I would think she knows her city.
Yeah, but if you still for that though, you gotta like take into consideration like, okay, this policy is not working. Let's come up with something.
Well, now
else.
she's in a position
To help, we'll see.
to make a difference.
We'll
we have
see.
a call.
Yes, caller.
Hi, Louis. Hi, Jill.
What's up, Seymour?
What's up, Seymour? How you doing?
What's going on?
Not much.
I'm doing well.
Good.
What's the Louis? What kind of vitamins are you taking? What's the brand name?
It's
You got them on you.
I haven't taken it yet. And they in my pocket. I got to eat something.
Geritol?
No, it's a Wise Men or something.
Wow.
It's a.
Do you know if it's a whole food vitamin?
Yes, it's the top one because someone who's in nutrition told me.
Do you
get
feel
that.
like this working?
Yes, I have good energy. And then the zinc and the vitamin D. Yes, I'm not sluggish.
So none of that can just come natural.
Evidently not.
Wow.
It's supposed to be
I
natural.
was just wondering.
Okay.
I was just wondering if it was
What's
a
the
whole
tone?
food. Because some
What's
people
going
think
in
you just go to
2022?
Walmart and buy your vitamins, and some of that stuff is just you're just wasting your money. I was
Yeah,
just
no.
wondering.
This is they cost. It's at the health store.
But it's
Okay, good.
The health store.
It's
like
so are y'all gonna
$70.
bring-
You
Are
take
you
them
all
every
going to
day?
bring TDP back, or what's going on with TDP?
Well, he's still in. He's working through whatever he needs to work through. His seat is always here.
Okay.
But that's, we one monkey don't stop no show. And
hold on, that's not the right attitude to have. We
Exactly.
want
See,
TDP
he
back.
just-
no,
like-
I'm with you. I want him back,
You
but
tapping into
I
your
mean,
inner Dannon. That's
this is
Dannon. Don't
well,
do Dannon Green.
this is in a man's world, and man to man, I've spoken to him. He told me it was lowercase no, so that's better than uppercase no.
Right. So
So when he's ready, he can
the
walk
seat
in.
is still here.
Well, let me ask you this: did you offer him a new shirt? You know he likes his shirt.
Look, I offered him a
Did you
chair.
offer?
I offered him a chair and a space to come
Well,
back and be creative. But I
But
love
next time you
him.
need to offer him a chair and a new shirt, Louis.
I ain't offering
You gotta
him no
make
shirt.
it.
I
You gotta
asked,
make it.
Whenever he's
Pick it
ready
up.
and comfortable, he's welcome.
yeah. So let's move on. Now you just did something. I was reading. What did you? You went somewhere and you couldn't do something, so you did something else.
What?
I went to Cabo.
Right.
Oh wow. How was that?
Thanksgiving. I love Cabo. I like any place where it's nice beaches and stuff like that. So I just love the water. I'm a Pisces.
But you couldn't do something. What was it you were?
I wanted to whale watch.
Right.
Oh, okay.
But they said the season doesn't start until this month. And so I actually went to do a snorkeling excursion, and I saw humpback whales on our way to the destination.
Oh, okay.
I saw like a mom and her little calf. It was so awesome. I am still just so excited and ecstatic about that. I love wildlife and marine life and stuff like that.
All right. And how's your family?
They're doing good, I guess. I'm really just kind of taking time out for chastity, Louis. Everybody's family is not the same.
Right.
And I just want to implore other listeners, if you don't have that close-knit, encouraging family and it's stressful, then do whatever you need to do for your mental health. Because actually, I will be in Turks and Caicos. I fly out on Sunday, and I'll come back on Christmas.
There you go.
All right. So that's.
I'm
do
doing
you.
I'm doing chastity. I'm doing Seymour.
Yeah,
Now,
do
is
you.
that your name, Chastity?
No, it's not. It's Seymour.
Oh, okay. That's your vacation name, Chastity.
No, it's Seymour.
A whole
That was
persona, a whole
Seymour.
different persona when you go in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Turks and Caicos is like, I'm Chastity, girl.
I'm Chastity. I'm checking in.
Who's that?
Chastity.
I
Yeah.
don't know who's that. Who's that?
That's
I
funny.
left Seymour back in the States.
That's a beautiful name. Well,
Thank you.
travel safely. Thank you for always listening, and then we'll.
Happy holidays.
You
Same
too.
And I
too.
want to say, the Megan Thee Stallion stuff. Supposedly, she found out that her friend was supposedly messing with that little dude, and that's what caused an argument. I think they actually had a physical altercation. But
Yeah.
they said that he was drunk, and I don't think he meant to shoot her. But the gun went off, and she was shot in actually both of her feet.
But that was the whole thing too. That was, he wanted a threesome, and it was like, that was the.
Why would you want a
rumor.
threesome when you got the Stegan Mount?
Man, yo.
Whatever. Megan the
Yo,
Style.
When you high and drunk.
Little men always go too far. He's a little
Why'd you
dude
want-
with a bad hairline. You know what I'm saying? He do the little hair weaves and stuff like that. He got issues.
Okay.
Yeah, so
well,
I mean,
don't we all? So thank you so much, love. Take
Have
care.
a
Oh, I'm
blessed
sorry.
one and happy holidays,
too.
everybody.
all right, thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
I said thank you, love. So code 3 gonna be like, that's your love.
So I mean,
And plus, he could be jealous
Well,
because her career has taken off.
Yes.
I mean, ain't nothing wrong with a little threesome here and there.
That was interesting.
I was curious about that if they were in a relationship. I didn't know about that.
Well, then it's so much to that story because, they said she got upset because Kylie was throwing it at him and all of that. So, I mean, it's so much to that, so you don't know what's going to come out of it. So
I could believe that.
So
that's so funny. I want to talk about, Mark had mentioned it, and Jeff Brown, I think, someone mentioned about all the people we're losing. And, D. Militant is the latest one. And, of course, Ricky Harris.
Well, think about a lot of comics that's not on that plateau. That's just the local comics.
What's his name? Downtown Tony Brown died.
Detroit,
from Detroit.
Yeah.
I remember him. I remember him doing the funny
just got
bit.
some teeth.
I remember him doing a funny bit about why black people got to get a pastrami sandwich at 2 a.m. and end up getting shot.
Yeah. I mean, we lost him.
I laughed so hard. I didn't want to laugh at it, but I did. I mean, I looked up, and my muse got me into this, looking up words.
Okay.
And I looked up the word death, and it's a noun, the action or fact of dying or being killed, the end of life of a person or an organism. And comics say all the time, I died up there tonight. He killed the audience.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Because I know Patricia O'Neal, when he did his Elephant in the Room special, he talked about that he wasn't going to live long. And then he had the stroke.
I mean, now it's to a point now, do we live, you hear now, like after D. Militant's passing, a lot of comics was texting me, calling me like, hey, man, continue, start living your life. Live life to fullest.
It's interesting because nobody texts me.
Yeah, they was just like, yo, start living your life, man. The next day is not promised the next night. And like, we've been knowing that for a while.
Right.
I mean, it's just all coming to,
I mean, because I think about, because a lot of people on Facebook are so dramatic when they do all these tributes to him. They were doing about how he was special. And I remember when Robin Harris died. That was like the closest comic to me that when he died.
Right.
That got me.
Right.
And I handle death differently in the sense of I'm like, I know somebody's gonna die. I kind of think
you make a joke of it. That's your way of it.
That's my way of dealing with it.
Yeah, that's your way of dealing with it.
I come hard.
Yeah, because I think you
I didn't do it with Robin though.
Yeah, you did.
Did I?
Yeah.
What did I say?
Your first thing was Robin was like, okay, we're gonna see who's gonna do baby kids now.
Oh right.
We have a call.
I did say who was gonna do baby's kids next, and then I said, well, I guess because he used to always fall asleep.
Right.
And I remember saying, well, I guess he ain't waking up today. Yeah, that was wrong. Hey, caller.
So, I mean,
hello.
You guys all right?
Yes.
Okay. This is D-Cause, man. How you guys doing?
Hey, what's up, D-Cause? How you doing, man?
How you doing, man?
I'm chilling, man. Hey, I miss you guys, man. Last time I talked to Jeff, he talked to my autistic son, and he was talking about the popcorn and hot sauce and everything.
Right.
Yeah. But I got an issue with these people out here talking about, because you got gray hair, that you out of the game and all that kind of stuff, man.
No, the thing is,
do you have gray hair?
Yeah.
I started going gray because of my granddad. I'd rather go gray than go bald because you can color it at the end of the day, but I'm not doing that. But I started going gray, I think I was like 31 or 32.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? But that's just what it is. But that takes you out of the game because you start going gray?
No, that's just what people want to, they want to put on there. I look at it like this. We as black people, when you ask their age, we are ashamed for some reason to expose our age.
I think it's the individual too, because I'm weak like that.
I mean, I just like when you ask somebody their age, they be like, oh, why are you asking me my age? I embrace it. I'm 60 years old. I think that's, coming from where I came from, Chicago, and I know you joke about it all that time and all that, and then interacting with people that's relocated, the youngs that relocated from Chicago out here now, and just seeing them and just talking, they say, damn, OG, you 60, I'm trying to get that age. You know, all the shit that we had to get through to get out here to where we are. It's a blessing. I mean, because right now, what people don't know right now is that I tell people, you know, like, you know, you can't, back in the day when you was talking to a girl or woman and you're trying to get to know, one of the basic questions you would ask in the relation, you know, to inquire about a relationship to see if they were special is like, what do you see yourself in 2 years? What do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years.
You can't ask that question anymore because you live in moment to moment.
Yeah.
Well, when I was talking to her back then, I was like, what you doing later?
Exactly. But still, but I mean, but you can't, you know, and especially now, LA is a hotbed right now. LA is a hot spot right now.
But the thing is, why? Because you got gray hair, you out of the game or whatever, man.
No,
I'm at my job and they call me old school and
embrace
OG
that
and all that.
Embrace that because you know they got to get to where you at. Like when I'm on my job,
I'm not that great. I'm not that great.
But that's that wisdom and that's knowledge coming out. Like when them young motherfuckers tell me they like, nigga, you old. I'm like, well, how old are you? Mm-hmm. I'm 32. I'm like, motherfucker, that was a good age. 32.
Facts.
I'm 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. You got to get there. You know how many threesomes I had when I was 32? Like you can't, you know, so you gotta you don't have that.
How did you put that into the conversation?
You can always inject
about 32. Then how many threesomes I had?
Yes, because at that
you really
at 32,
you're talking to a guy and you put that in there,
and a female too. Yeah,
that's weird.
No,
man, they act like when you get over 35, it's like it's gone and all. I'm like, nigga, are y'all serious? You just starting to begin to embrace life and all that kind of stuff, man.
But we did it too, though. We did it too.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Yeah.
When I used to look at my uncles and my neighbors, and I'd be like, "Oh man, you old motherfucker." And now it hits hard and it rings that bell because they say, "Nigga, I'm 51. You got to get there."
Hey, D-Cause,
let me look at.
No, I wanted to ask you a question because how long you been married?
15 years.
Now you guys have one child.
What? Yep.
Now your son is how old?
13.
13. So you say he's autistic, right?
Yep.
Let me ask you a question. Yep. So when you and your wife, he got diagnosed, how as a man did you comfort her?
Man, because I had 2 previous children, I didn't know how to deal with it because I never had that type of situation. But I was like, you know what? We're going to get through this.
Right.
We're going to get through this, man, because I never experienced it because my other 2, they were good. Mm-hmm. You know, and I was like, man, he didn't start talking till he was like 5. But he understood everything that I talked to. He just couldn't communicate verbally.
Right.
You know. But now he's a beast in this music, man. You know. But he just embraced everything, and he watched me as his father. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, so did you learn? What are some of the things you learned about yourself as a man that you feel that you're better for this?
Man, that I had to be patient because I used to like be mad and go off about certain things. I'm like, dude, he's not understanding this. But then I had to, you know, do some research on, you know, this type of, you know, situation. I was like, man, it's simple to me, but
it's all new to him.
Yeah, fact.
Now, did you, when you were out in public, did you learn how to check people in a different way, or did you mature that way? How did that come about?
No, he didn't do anything. The only thing that we would do, like if we went over to somebody's house and it stunk, he would say, "Daddy, it smell like doo-doo in here." I'm like, dude,
that's honest.
You can't do that. But that's the way autistic people are, man.
Yeah.
And he didn't understand that. I was like, dude, oh, come on, man. You can't do that, man.
Mm-hmm. Now,
Daddy, it stinks. So, you know.
Now, what's his name?
Jordan.
Jordan. So did you have in the 13 years? It's gotten because I follow Holly Robinson Pete, and she has his autistic son. Yeah. It's gotten better for autistic children and their parents? There's more resources.
Oh yeah, man, way better, man. You just have to, like I said, you just have to pay attention to your child and find out what they do, because I still do. Hey, man, tone and delivery, but he's not like that as far as, hey, Dad, I'm just telling you no or yes, but it's just how he says it.
Right.
He doesn't mean it the way he's, projecting it to me or whatnot, man. I'm like, hey, man, dude.
Yeah. I
ain't that dude. I'll knock your ass out, man. He's like, no, Dad, it's no. I'm just saying no. But it's just the way he comes off.
Like,
no. Now, how does the education, is he in a public school or a private school?
Yeah, he's in public, man, but they pull him to a side on certain things.
Okay.
And he doesn't like it. He doesn't like it, so he's like, Dad, I'm not that dude. I'm smarter than that.
Okay.
So did you have to have more conferences with the teachers or the head of the school? How did you guys?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You definitely have to talk to the teachers and all that, and they'll give you a guidance as far as, all right, man, what do you have to, this is where he is, and this is where, because, they're on that no child left behind type thing.
Right.
And I don't, back in the day, when you flunk, nigga, shit, you just flunk.
Yeah, you stuck in that fourth grade.
Mm-hmm.
Facts, yeah. And they're not doing that these days, man. So, they'll just pass you. And I'm like, I'll go to the school and like, no, man, if he's not passing, he's staying behind.
Right.
But they're not doing that. They're not doing that these days.
Now, if you were, say, if there's some brothers now who are fathers and their son's autistic, what advice would you give them, knowing what you know now, that could help them process this or get better?
Man, just stay in their lives. Learn them. Study them. Just talk to them. They'll tell you, and then you can reach out, because a lot of times, man, they'll just give you a controller and just let them play PlayStation all day, and you don't know nothing about them.
But
what they're doing.
But the key word is what you also said too, is you have to develop that too. It's patience.
Mm-hmm. What's one of your proudest moments for Jordan for you?
Oh man, going into the man, this is crazy. Going into the studio, and he does everything that I've done as far as turning on everything, learning my password, getting in and doing a beat.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Making a man. I'm telling you, I was watching a football game, and I heard him in the studio, and I said, "Wait a minute, man, that's a demo." He said, "No, Dad, that's me."
So
and he was 11. He was 11 years old.
So his gift is music.
Yes, he watched me from the time that I started having him in the studio with me. I thought he would just want to be in here with me with his dad, but he was learning and studying chord progressions, all that kind of stuff. Crazy.
Wow. Well, you know what? I want to. First of all, I want to thank you from a male perspective and a father's perspective for being the man that you are, because that takes a lot of depth to love your wife, love your son, and keep that family together, and still maintain who you are. So it's
patience.
Yeah, Jordan is lucky, and we're lucky that you're part of listening to us. And I want to much respect. Have a great holiday, and thank you, man.
Stay safe out there. Where you calling from? Where you at?
Man, Fort Wayne, Indiana. He's going to be on, his music is going to be on Steve Russell. We're working with Steve Russell from Troop right now. On Amazon Prime, he's got something called Day Ones on there, which I have 2 tracks on there, and Jordan is working on 3 tracks that's going to be on the second season.
Okay, well, cool. Definitely, if you could hit us up and POTUS so we can play it.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, D-Cause. Much respect.
All right.
Say hi to Jordan.
Yes, sir.
All right, man.
All right.
Now, that's, man. I don't know. We all our Sydney, she didn't have enough oxygen, and if she had survived, we would have had a special needs child. And
see, if I was gonna be cruel, I was gonna have a joke for that. Though.
Well, go ahead.
No, I'm good.
No.
I would never do that. No,
I
I'm
would.
good. No, I know. That's the
He
difference.
talked about your daddy.
That's all right. I'm good on that one.
Look at her instigating.
Portis
that was you might as well put a stick on my shoulder and say knock that off.
must have had that shot like nigga. He talking about your daddy, nigga. Shit. Fuck that.
Shoot him in the toe.
Oh, someone wanted to know in the chat room when you guys were here before, you had some challenges, Jeff, with your son. How's your relationship with him now?
It's still the same. It's pending.
Still the same. Nothing has changed.
And he came by. We had like maybe a brief 30-minute conversation. I mean, but it started off wrong though. So.
What do you mean it started off wrong?
I mean, he came by and he's like, if you feel the need, I just came by. If you feel like I should apologize for, I was like, yo, hold up, you starting off wrong. And he was just like, well, I mean, then some issues came up that he felt that I wasn't there, which was not true. He felt I should have been there more for his basketball, which I was there for his basketball.
Well, I can contest that. Yes, you were. So he needs it.
But
you know what? Hey, everybody, we all have.
Yeah.
I look at my son sometimes, and I'm sure he has, and my daughters. That Peyton was telling me last night that, that her and her mom, me and her mom, need to learn how to talk to Lewis differently and all this stuff. And I was like, all right. Because her and I have great conversations. Him and his mom, okay, but
Well, you have some parents that still, they coddle their kids up until, they just, they always in their kid's life, and and I know his mom is in his life. I mean, she's constantly there.
I'm not deep in it, but I see what you're saying. I definitely agree with what you're saying.
You got at some point, you got this he's 25, he has to figure this relationship out now. He has to figure this out. What I mean to him and how important I am to him.
And he will.
And at this point, I'm not on his radar. And I'm,
No,
I'm
you're
not
on his
good.
radar.
No, I'm not.
I think there's certain examples.
Do you think he made a good effort by coming by, or do you feel like it was a waste of time?
No, he started off, but it just, it was just his approach. He felt like, he was doing me a favor by coming by. And I'm like, you got to understand something, like, at the age I'm at now, I tell people, you got to understand the difference between two four-letter words, a want and a need. I may want you, but I don't need you. And that's the thing. And I know some people still, to my mom to this day, it hurts my mom when my mom is out here and he doesn't contact it. And, and she'll text him or she'll call him and he doesn't reply. So it hurts her. Well, I have to see my mom cry for her grandson, and then my mom gets upset because I've instilled my dad's attitude for when my dad had the attitude towards my older brother. When my dad's attitude towards my older brother was like, fuck it, I don't give a fuck. If you don't call me, fuck it, it's on him.
Well, we have different opinions on that.
My dad and I fell out for like 3 months, and Bishop Don Juan took me to lunch, and he told me, he said, you need to call your father. Like, you're the child.
Yeah.
And you would feel so messed up if something happened to your dad and y'all were tripping like over nothing, really.
Right. He said something. He had some great words because someone asked him about his daughters. Mm-hmm. And it's like, yo, you're not in your daughter's life, but you're doing it. But he said what you said. He said, yo, you got to understand something. I'm their father. They need to reach out to me.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he told me that.
Yeah.
He was like, call your dad. He goes, because if it was me, I wouldn't call you. Yeah. I wouldn't call none of my kids if they're not speaking to me.
I think.
I don't necessarily agree with that, but I did call my dad that same day, and we squashed it because it's just not worth it.
No, it's not. I think you're wasting time. I think
you're wasting valuable time.
And because and.
But the greatest thing is I see a lot of his friends, and his friends come up, and then they'll say, yo, I don't know what's his problem.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with it. It's you and him. I don't care about his friends. It's you. That's your seed. But that's not a good subject for us to talk about. because I have different opinions, and I think you should, keep reaching out to him because Julius is your boy, and he's gonna need you, and he'll realize that.
And we have a call. I'm sorry, I had somebody on hold.
All right, hurry up, caller. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it that way. Caller, hurry up, caller.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Who's this?
This is Sylvester.
Hey.
What's up, man?
What's up, Sylvester?
Nothing much. How you guys doing?
Good.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I bet Jeff don't remember me.
Yeah, we remember you, Sylvester.
Why wouldn't I?
Oh, because it's been 3 years.
Well, we remember you because we just wrote your name down. Hey, Sylvester.
What's going on? How you
cool.
been, man?
I've been good. You all?
We've been good, man.
That's good. That's good. Hey, I got a question. I noticed you guys do your top comedian list. What will you put Jamie Foxx on your list?
Oh, Jamie Foxx is a beast, man. Come on, Jamie Foxx is
Jamie's in the class by himself.
Yeah, man. Jamie is Jamie Foxx. I mean,
I'll put him right under Eddie.
Yeah, I mean he's definitely as far as overall talent.
Yeah.
Singing, dancing, acting. He's a throwback.
Yeah, he's a Sammy Davis Jr. He's our Sammy Davis Jr.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He's.
What about this comedy?
Oh, his comedy.
Yeah.
His comedy's kind of. It's a mixture of that. He's not. I mean, pure stand up. He has to include the singing and the impressions, not just pure stand up subject matter, because he's more or less. He's
an entertainer.
Yeah, he's an entertainer. So he does more jokey jokes. He won't get into subjects or something like that. But if you spend $100, you're gonna get
$150
worth of entertainment.
You're gonna leave. Like,
even the ones who can do great pure stand up like Dave Chappelle, they can't touch Jamie in the fact of entertaining you.
Yeah.
He can sit down a classical pianist. I mean, he's Jamie Foxx. I agree with you. He's the Sammy Davis Jr. of our time.
And I think, musically, if you take out the music, I think Jamie can, he can fuck with you on stage.
No, if he just locked in on stand up, he'd be a beast.
Yeah, he'd a beast.
But he's a nice, and another thing about him, he's a loyal friend. Ask Speedy. And he's a decent guy. He always shows you love.
Always.
He's never pretentious. He's always shows you love. When you see him, you say hi to him.
And he's not one of those, the motherfuckers that come out here and become Hollywood.
Yeah.
If Jamie sees you and he knows you, he doesn't care who he's around, his agents, his publicists, or anything. Jamie will come over and be like, yo, nigga, what's up, man?
Yeah,
what's going on with you, yo?
Hey, Sylvester, we got to get out of here, man. Thank you for calling. Tune in next week, okay?
Yes, sir. Every week. I might not call every week, but I'm watching every week.
All right, thank you.
Glad you still listening to us, man.
Hey, listen.
Of course, man. I got to talk, listen to the elders.
All right, thank you. Elders.
I'll take that, man. That's a badge of honor, yo. I'll take it.
Hey, listen, we want to thank Don Reed, Mark Howard, Jeff Brown
for calling in
with the G.
Yes.
And we want to thank D-Cause.
And our new segment, the Poetess Report. So.
Yes, I want to. We mentioned a thing on Zach Stacy and Megan Thee Stallion, or is it
Megan Thee Stallion?
And domestic violence is a real thing, and if 85% of women are victims of domestic violence, and during the holidays it rises up, I wanted to put a number out there. If you're being harmed or abused and you need help, call 1-800-799-7233 or 1-800-799-SAFE, S-A-F-E. So it's 1-800-799-7233 or 1-800-799-SAFE. It's the National Domestic Violence Hotline. If you call that number, someone will get in contact with you, and they'll give you resources that's right near you. So please, and men, keep your hands to yourself, and women, and just walk away.
Yeah.
And we won't be back next week because of the holidays, but we're gonna let you know if we'll be back on the 31st to do that Christmas Day Eve show. And
you mean New Year's Eve?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Starting off,
more than likely.
All right, we're out. I'm out.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.